Hi everyone, greetings from Piedmont Triad International Airport in Greensboro, North Carolina, the home of Carolina Aircraft. I'm May K. Beeler and I am delighted to tell you about this exceptional, beautiful Bonanza G36. It's a 2007 model. It is a piston powerhouse. If you're looking for an adventure in your life, this will take you there. Lots to love. Let's take a look. So let's take an up-close and personal look at November 524 Bravo Sierra. The engine is a Continental IO 550, 300 horsepower. It has factory-tuned injectors. That's the factory version of the GAMI injectors. Now you can see we have a 3-blade prop over here. It does have de-ice. Now the time on the prop, engine, and airframe since new is 1,180 hours. There's a lot to love here with November 524 Bravo Sierra. She's a 60th anniversary Bonanza, the G36. As I said before, she's a 2007 model, but she looks like she just rolled off the production line. She's had one owner, always been hangared, no damage history, and pampered. So look at the paint. Beautiful overall Matterhorn white with gray and blue striping. I love the large double cargo doors that the Bonanza is famous for. It's really easy for your passengers to get in. Of course, there are 4 seats for your passengers. We've got 2 seats up front. Useful load is about 1,037 pounds. The interior is gorgeous. Can't wait to get in to show you. Boy, do I feel pampered. Look at this gorgeous interior. This is Coldstream leather seating. Now, even though the airplane is a 2007 model, folks, I'm telling you, it doesn't get any better than this. This interior is in perfect condition. Look at the headliners, the armrests are upgrades, the leather seating, beautiful, perfect, lots of leg room, lots of room for my head, beautiful gray carpet in perfect condition. I like this executive desk. In fact, I think I might start writing my next book here. Now, if you think the cabin is gorgeous, wait till you see the flight deck. Beautiful G1000 panel, and Brian Tuttle is about to tell us all about it.
Okay guys, I'm Brian Tuttle with Carolina Aircraft. Going to take a little closer look at this beautiful G1000 panel. Okay, let's first take a look at the primary flight display here for the G1000. You can see on the left side here, I can turn my volume up for my nav comms. I can switch the frequencies within the nav head here. I can change my heading bug. Once the air traffic controllers give me a new heading, I can just scroll around here. You can see that moving. It does have a really neat push to sync feature. If I push this in, it will automatically sync up to the current heading. I also have controls here to change my altitude pre-select. This is a very nice Garmin GF700 autopilot. It's a 3-axis, so I can change my altitude here. This will climb up to 4,000 feet and level off, and I'll show you some more on those features as we move around the panel. So coming back up to the top, you can see here I've got in my flight plan direct to Greensboro, which is KGSO. We are at the Greensboro Airport today. It is showing 0.2 nautical miles on a bearing of 81 degrees. And on the far right, you can see here my frequencies for my communication radios currently on ground. The green is the current active frequency. The standby is to the right. And if I push here below the comm, it will switch down to comm 2. So I would now say put in my ATIS frequency, put it over to the active, and I would be able to listen to that as well. Down the right hand side, you can see I can change my barometric pressure here as well. Greensboro today is about 2967. We're around 900 feet MSL. I will turn on my inset here on the bottom left, and you can see my range here will now change this. This is really a neat feature for the Garmin 1000. I can have this off. I can have it showing traffic, terrain, topography. I can put my storm scope here. I can have my NextRad weather showing up here, and that way it's all right here, right in front of my eyes as I'm flying. I've got everything that I need in one scanning location here, so very nice feature there. As we move back to the right hand side, I can pull up flight plan. Let's say I wanted to head down to Myrtle Beach today and play a little golf like I love to do. I would just put in Grand Strand, direct, and activate, and there we go. I'm 150 miles from my favorite golf courses, and we're off. But I show you that to say that I can do everything from right here just in front of me. Along the bottom, I can change the primary flight displays. I can put up my bearing 1, bearing 2. You can see that we dropped that here just simply because we're in a hangar and it's just not picking up. But I can also go back and I can put in my transponder code. They give me a code. We'll just say that code is 5321. Very simple. And when you get back on the ground, you can go right back to it, VFR button, simple push, right back to squawking 1200 there. My OBS, I can input and then go back up and turn my course indicator. A lot of different neat features here that you can have strictly in front of you. And then we'll move on to the middle of the panel here. This is all of my audio controls. Right now we're currently on COM 1. COM 2, this does have a split COM feature where I can be on one frequency. The co-pilot can be on another frequency, maybe calling to check on lunch or a rental car, a courtesy car, something like that to go to lunch when you land. All of my volume controls, everything is here. Okay, let's take a look at the multifunction display for the Garmin 1000. One thing to point out, you'll notice here that we also have the same nav controls and communication controls on this side with the multifunction display. So your co-pilot can actually be working this side of the airplane and changing those frequencies for you without having to reach across over to the other side. So everything at the top is the same. As we move down, you'll see here we have our autopilot controls for our GFC 700. Now, this is one of the nicest autopilot systems that is out in the market today. I flew corporate and flew jets and King Airs, and this will rival right up against those. This is a great 3-axis autopilot system. It has a flight director tied into it that you can see here. This will fly heading mode. It will fly nav mode. This has a built-in GPS steering. If there's a turn in the autopilot, this airplane or this autopilot will fly it. It has a yaw damper system for flight when the days are a little bit rough. Approach mode. This will intercept the glide slope and fly all the way down to the runway on an ILS, but also on a GPS approach. This Garmin 1000 system has been upgraded to the WAS system. So it will fly the glide slope on the WAS approaches as well. It has a vertical speed select. You can see here as I click on vertical speed and I push it 5 times, now this goes up to 500 feet. So this system now will climb to 3,000 feet at 500 feet per minute and level off. Does a great job. It does an awesome job correcting for wind. It also has a flight level change button as well, to where it will fly and climb or descend at an indicated airspeed, much like you would see in a small jet or King Air. As we move a little further to the right, this is all of my engine instrumentation gauges. Starting at the top, this is the manifold pressure gauge, our RPM gauge, our fuel flows, cylinder head temperature, oil temp, oil pressure, our alternator loads, our bus loads or bus volts, and then our fuel quantity gauges. So everything is right there, very easily to see if everything is in the green as you're getting ready for takeoff or as you're flying. You'll notice down at the bottom here, I'll start going through some of the soft keys. If I press the engine page, I can pull up the system, and now it's going to show me oil temperature, oil pressure in a digital format, the current fuel flow. This is where I would input my gallons. If I put 10 gallons in the airplane, I would just mash this get us up to those 10 gallons. Once we start flying, it will tell me how many gallons we have used, the endurance that we have left, and how many miles in nautical that the current fuel load will take us. Our electrical loads here now in a digital format, and our bus volts as well. You can see here where we have a lean fine button. As we get up to altitude, say we level off at 7,000 feet, let everything accelerate, we would hit the lean and then the cylinder, the assist button. And as we started leaning back, you would see the cylinders start to go up. The temperatures would go up, the EGTs would go up, and at some point you would get to peak EGT. And then if you wanted to run lean of peak with the factory tuned injectors, you could do so, or increase it to run rich of peak. But I can select which cylinder that I want to see into. I'm looking at exhaust gas temperatures and cylinder head temperatures. Very nice to be able to do that and to see each one of those cylinders. So let's go back to the map. I have my map control buttons on the far right here. You can see this is our general map. This is our traffic page. This airplane has Skywatch 497. That is an active traffic system. So if we were flying and there were other airplanes, you would see those. Our third page is our WX500 storm scope. This is our XM weather page. Now again, we're sitting in a open T hangar and it's not going to detect the activation, but this has the Garmin GDL69 XM weather. It is the A version of that. So we also have XM music available as well. If I were to press more weather, you can't see it on the soft keys here, but we can pull up the surface winds, the freezing levels, winds aloft, and those type of things. And then this is our TALS page, our terrain awareness. We have TALS B on this airplane, which is very nice if you are near the mountains, you're flying out in those areas. It's nice to be able to see those and get the TALS alerts as you're coming in. So I'll go back, and now our Waypoint page. You can see here again, we're in Greensboro, North Carolina. We have our airport diagram here, all of our frequencies, everything that has anything to do with Greensboro comes up right in front of you. Different intersections, NDBs, VORs, and waypoints as well. When we switch over to our aux pages, this just gives us some generic information that if you'd like to set up, you can do scheduling where it will come up as a message to switch tanks and different things. We had an airplane in here one time, the guy had it set up where every 20 minutes it would come up and say, "Kiss the wife." So when they were on a long trip, he was reminded to give the wife a kiss. GPS status pages, again, not coming up very clear because of where we're at. And you can see here, this is our XM music page. You would just highlight, hit the channel that you like. The thing I love about the Garmin 1000 is it will actually let you sing along. The Garmin 530, 430, when you have XM music on there, you can't talk amongst yourselves over the intercom, or it will cut the music out. The G1000 is not like that. So one other really neat feature that I like about this setup, there is a display backup button, and if you push this button, it's going to now display the primary flight display over where the multifunction display is. So if you've got someone that's riding along, a child or somebody else that would like to do some flying, they're not having to look over your shoulder to be able to keep the airplane pointed in the right direction. You can put this primary display over in front of them, flight director, everything works exactly the same way it does on the left hand side, and a very neat feature for the Garmin 1000. So we'll turn that back off, and we'll go over to the far right here. You can see our standby instrumentation. We have a standby airspeed indicator, a very nice standby attitude indicator with its own internal battery, and our standby altimeter.
If you want to cruise in style at about 170 knots, this beautiful 2007 G36 is for you. Folks, it's in perfect condition. It is absolutely beautiful. Fly with 6 folks in comfort. It's got a 6-place intercom system that you and your passengers can talk to each other without having to yell. Beautiful leather interior. The G1000 instrument panel is jaw-dropping, absolutely exceptional. The paint is in perfect condition. The last annual was done in December of 2014. Now remember, on the engine, the prop, and the airframe, 1,180 hours since new. This airplane is not going to last. She is a beauty. We invite us to look at it up close and personal here at Piedmont Triad International Airport. We are Carolina Aircraft, specializing in prime condition aircraft. Check out our website, carolinaAircraft.com. Give us a call at 336-665-0300. This beautiful 60th anniversary G36 Bonanza is looking for a new home. If you're looking for adventure, she was built for adventure. She is a piston powerhouse. Give us a call. I'm May K. Beeler for Carolina Aircraft. Thanks for watching.